In Supercross, inches decide seasons. Inside a packed stadium, riders launch over 30 feet into the air, more than 10 meters, land under forces reaching 5 times their own body weight, and repeat that over and over, lap after lap. The tracks are tight, technical, engineered down to the inch. Every jump demands absolute precision. Every rhythm section demands total focus. Now take all of that and put it in the fastest class in the championship. More power, more fatigue, zero room for hesitation. Engineering evolves every single year. The bikes get more advanced, but the human body doesn't evolve at the same pace. And when that limit starts to crack, what really separates a champion from everyone else? Is it horsepower? Is it equipment? Or is it the ability to survive while racing at the absolute edge? That's exactly what you're about to understand. The name Supercross comes from a mashup of 2 words, Super Bowl and motocross. The concept emerged in the early 1970s when motocross was brought inside the Los Angeles Coliseum, turning dirt racing into a full-scale stadium spectacle inspired by America's biggest sporting event. The name evolved, the concept stayed. Supercross became its own discipline, tighter, more intense, more technical. Today, the AMA Supercross Championship is officially sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association, operating under its own technical and sporting regulations. But what truly makes Supercross different is the track design. Layouts typically range from 1,600 to 2,000 feet, roughly 490 to 610 meters, packed into an incredibly compact footprint. Every foot of dirt is loaded with intensity, forcing riders to execute with surgical precision at every obstacle. Most championship tracks are built by Dirt Works, the company responsible for transforming NFL and baseball stadiums into inch-perfect technical circuits, with one exception, Daytona, which carries a more traditional motocross influence. And it's in the jumps that Supercross reveals its true scale. On triple combinations, riders can reach heights of 30 to 40 feet, about 9 to 12 meters, traveling 60 to 80 feet horizontally, roughly 18 to 24 meters, before touching back down. Inside a closed stadium, that means long hang time, split-second throttle control, and constant impact. Each landing can generate forces between 3 and 5 times a rider's body weight. But nothing defines Supercross quite like the whoops. 10 to 14 consecutive bumps, each around 3 feet tall, close to 90 centimeters. They may look simple at first glance, but they conceal one of the most technically demanding sections in all of Supercross. The whoops demand relentless throttle control, precise weight transfer, and perfect rhythm. A minor mistake there doesn't just cost time. It can ruin an entire lap. It's the most feared section on the track. Races are often decided right there. And here's the key point. Supercross tracks are so technically demanding that an amateur rider would struggle to complete a single lap cleanly, not battling for position, just executing every jump correctly. Now imagine doing that for over 20 minutes. At speeds reaching 55 to 60 miles per hour, approximately 88 to 96 kilometers per hour, while 20 other riders fight for inches around you. That's the technical ceiling of professional riding. And there's another detail most people don't realize. Even a high-end motocross bike wouldn't survive this layout with stock suspension. Teams run highly specialized components designed to absorb repeated impacts of this magnitude. Running standard suspension would dramatically increase the risk of mistakes, or worse. That's what makes Supercross different. But what happens when that level of precision has to be repeated lap after lap in the fastest and most demanding class of the championship? That's where the story of the 450 begins. If Supercross is extreme by definition, the 450 class is where the equation peaks. No hesitation, no time to recover, no margin for error. The 450 is the premier class. It's where riders and machines operate at maximum resistance. And it all begins at the start. On a short, congested track, getting the whole shot isn't just an advantage. It's taking control before the chaos even starts. A strong launch means clean air, higher pace, better line choices, and less exposure to the chaos of the opening corners. But riders who get shuffled into the middle of the pack are forced to fight for space in every section, deal with heavy traffic, and dramatically increase their physical and mental load within the first few laps. a scenario that can shape the entire outcome of the race. When the gate drops in the main event, it's not just a race that begins. It's sustained combat between horsepower, technique, and human endurance. Every corner requires instant line selection. Every jump demands millimeter-perfect timing. Every rhythm section punishes hesitation, and it all has to be sustained for over 20 minutes. By the time a rider lines up for the main event, after practice sessions, qualifying, and heat races, the cardiovascular, muscular, and mental load is already massive. The track breaks down, ruts form, lines disappear. What felt predictable early in the night becomes unpredictable late in the race. In the 450, the winner isn't just the fastest rider, it's the one who keeps control when fatigue starts to take over. A clear example, Eli Tomac. During the 2023 Denver main event, just 3 minutes after the gate drop, Tomac was leading and setting the pace. Crossing a rhythm section, he landed hard into the next transition. It happened early, when riders are still under explosive load, fighting aggressively for position. The impact placed extreme stress on his left foot. The result, a ruptured Achilles tendon. At that moment, Tomac was at peak form, fighting for the championship. One imperfect landing, and his title run was over. That's how unforgiving this sport is. Now consider the other side of that reality. Ken Roczen. In 2017, at Anaheim 2, Roczen suffered a violent crash that severely damaged his arm. Multiple surgeries, months of recovery. A long, uncertain road back. Many believed his elite career was finished. It wasn't. Roczen rebuilt himself, physically and technically. He relearned movements, adjusted posture, modified his riding style, and returned to the 450 gate, not as a comeback story, but as a legitimate contender, battling some of the fastest riders on the planet. That's the level of the 450. This isn't recklessness. It's extreme precision under maximum load. In Supercross, mistakes are rarely spectacular. They're subtle, and that's exactly why they're dangerous. That's the paradox of Supercross. Factory bikes can represent hundreds of thousands of dollars in development and specialized components. Suspension is dialed in for each athlete. Data is analyzed down to the smallest detail. Engineering evolves. The human body doesn't. In the 450, the difference between winning and walking away injured can be a few inches off the ideal landing spot. A slight hesitation in the whoops, a small posture shift under fatigue. It's not just power versus power. It's machine versus human limitation. And the most remarkable part? They keep coming back to the gate. They know a single mistake can end a season. They know the wear's cumulative. They know the risk is real. And they line up again. That's why the 450 is considered the pinnacle of Supercross. The fastest riders in the world, the most technical, the most mentally prepared, but above all, the most resilient. Because in the 450, it's not just about winning races. It's about surviving an entire championship at the absolute edge. And when someone does that, even after injury, even after crashes that should have ended careers, what you're witnessing isn't just talent, it's raw resilience. That's what makes the 450 the most brutal, most technical, and most unforgiving class in Supercross. Because when a mistake measured in inches can end a season, and everyone on that gate has the speed to win, what truly separates the champion? In the 450 class, pure speed isn't the deciding factor. The grid is deep. Every rider in the main event earned that spot through brutal qualifying, heat races, and LCQs. There are no shortcuts. The 450 lineup is widely considered the deepest field in the world. Any rider on that gate has the technical ability to win. The difference shows up when endurance starts to fade. It's sustaining precision when fatigue slows reaction time. Choosing the right line as the track deteriorates lap after lap. Maintaining clarity while racing bar to bar, inches apart. Managing chaos in fractions of a second. That's what makes Supercross special. It's not just powerful machines inside a stadium. It's elite engineering colliding with biological limits. Every season, technology advances, suspension improves, engines refine, data grows smarter. But the body still feels exhaustion. Pain still accumulates. Pressure still builds over a long season. At that point, the 450 transcends competition. It becomes survival at speed. Technique meets courage. Precision lives beside risk. Talent is tested under constant pressure. In the end, the champion isn't simply the fastest. It's the one who manages the limit better than anyone else. And maybe that's why Supercross keeps captivating fans. Because it doesn't just reveal who twists the throttle harder, it reveals who can endure more. Now let me ask you something. If two equally talented riders line up side by side, what makes the difference in the end? Skill or equipment? Do factory teams create a decisive advantage? Or does rider ability ultimately decide it? Drop your take in the comments. I want to hear your perspective. If this video kept you hooked until the end, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to keep exploring stories of extreme challenges, impossible races, and people who go far beyond the limit. And look, there's another video on your screen right now. Click it, and I'll see you over there. Keep exploring. The world doesn't stop, and neither do we.